Hey, welcome back to Enigmatica 2, where in the last video, we carved out this giant river to act as a water source for this farm, which is my extremely roundabout way of generating power. So all of this can make me high-tier food, which I then put in a culinary generator to make me power. And since the last video, I've been getting a few recommendations for power, but I'm going to stick to this just because it involves the most mods, and it's also just really funny. It's not going to be a permanent solution by any means, but just for like this early to mid-game stage, I think it could be funny. But also, even if it is the final goal, it gets me doing quite a lot of mods, because I've been looking at what I'm going to need for this. I obviously need to dip into extra utilities to get the generator itself, but I've been looking into what the best food is to run inside of this, and it seems to be pretty definitively small smingets, or more specifically this 4 small quad sminget, because that's what generates the most RF per tick. Even more so than the ultimate stew and cosmic meatballs. So I guess these are just the best food, and they're not terribly hard to get. It's basically just a lot of nuclear craft stuff. I could technically do it in the smeltery, but it's a great excuse for me to go through nuclear craft. And of course, to do that, I'm going to have to do IC2. And then to be able to manage this farm to get the stuff to turn into the small smingets, I'm likely going to have to go through industrial foregoing. And that's also going to require probably stuff from forestry. So this one kind of bad solution is a good excuse to tackle 5 more mods, as opposed to just mechanism. Oh, and it's not even on here. It also involves PAMs and probably cooking for blockheads, so I can actually make all the stuff. But anyway, all of that is going to be a pretty long process, so I'm just going to take this one step at a time. I think the small sminget is the final thing to get, but that's quite a ways away. So I just want to get the culinary generator at all, so I can just put a lot of PAM stuff in there. And I guess while I'm at it, I'll work towards some high-tier food, because you might have seen on the side, I've earmarked this delighted meal, because it gives all of the nutrition types, and it seems reasonably simple to try and get. But something that I noticed as well is I don't actually need meat. I can do this with tofu. And it's going to involve a few more things, but notably, it's all things that I can grow, so I don't actually have to worry about ranching, and I can just make a big farm. Also, I forgot to check. Oh, this isn't bad in the culinary generator. So yeah, mass producing this, probably a good thing to try and get this video. So then first things first, I think I'm just going to have to tear down all of this, and just focus on growing the ingredients I need. So I kind of only filled this in for the sake of the thumbnail. But the more specific the things I'm growing are, the faster I can actually get the food. Okay, so then that begs the question, what do I need to grow? I need any fruit, potatoes, lettuce, tomato, anything in particular I need for cheese, just milk. I have an alternative for milk. I'll get onto that in a minute. I need bread, so that's just wheat. Or soybean. Or potato? There's a lot of things that can make flour. Bananas can make flour? I'm just going to stick to wheat. And the butter, just heavy cream, or silken tofu. Both would be reasonably easy. I'll get back to that. And then which of the raw tofus would be the easiest to get? Or would they all be close to the same thing? They all seem to need firm tofu though. I was kind of hoping I could use silken tofu. But it's just one more step in the presser. And that'd get me soy milk, which can be used for heavy cream. So that'll solve the butter then. Tofican could be the cheapest here, because I've already got means of getting flour. Spice leaf is one more thing. Cooking oil, I think that's just any seed. But I may as well grow something else. I know I have tea leaves. Ooh, tofurkey. Probably easier. It's just tofu, bread, and cooking oil. Yeah, I'm gonna go tofurkey. And then of course the tofu itself needs soybeans. I think that's as deep as I need to go for this. The last question that I have is, Yes, I can make a smoothie out of strawberries. So I don't need to deal with fruit trees. Although a smoothie does need snow. Might just need a froster. Or a glacial precipitator. Or maybe I can just get it manually for now. Because I'm not going to need too terribly much of it. But I will need to automate it eventually. So I'm just going to grab all of these things that I've written down. And I'm going to need to grow. Although I don't have soybeans. I get them in tropical gardens. I'm going to have to go out looking for them then. But why is it not... It's not listing Earth for some reason? Yeah, something like strawberries is in the overworld. Tropical gardens are not in the overworld. Huh. I don't know how to get soybeans then. Does that mean soybeans are off the table? I think I'm just gonna need raw beef. Okay, so I've got to go ranching then. But all of these still need to be grown. Okay, that's all I have to grow right now. So, I need to get all of this Pam stuff now. And I also somehow need to get a ton of salt. Oh, water in a pot. Hang on a minute. I'm looking through Pam's to find stuff to mark. And there's a market. Use the farming for blockheads one. This can sell Pam seeds. It can sell soybean seeds. I can get soybeans. I think tofu is back on the table. I do need emeralds though. A decent amount of them. But that's not too hard. Just need to go mining in the mountains. I think I do that. That means I need to add tea leaves here. But now, I'm getting a bit distracted, but I'm going to hold off on getting a lot of the cooking stuff, because I want to get soybeans, so I don't have to bother with the ranching. And one other thing I want to do first. If I'm going to be going to get emeralds, I'm going to need to find a mountain, so I'm going to need some way to travel quicker. And I have an idea. Ooh, this is a good slime island. Because I can get green, and I can get purple. Two very good colors to grab. Oh, and the trees can give blue. So if I'm bothered to farm it enough, I can get all slime colors now. Might still be worth checking out other slime islands, but that's for another time. For now, I'm just going to make some slime boots. Because then, I can bounce along, and in conjunction with the longsword, I can travel pretty quickly and efficiently. So let's go find a mountain. Oh, and there's the dragon. I'm gonna steer clear of that. Actually, before I get too committed, I could get emeralds from villages, but there doesn't seem to be any other crazy way to get emeralds. Oh, and because of the emerald shovel I have at home, I'm not going to need as many as I thought, because I just need to get one for the cast, and then that's 8 more emeralds. But I'm basically going to need to mine them, and it doesn't give any specific biomes. So I'm just going to look for someplace vaguely mountainous. Although I have found a village, so maybe I could get a few emeralds this way. Yeah, there's these druids. They have very good emerald trades. I think that's gonna be all the emeralds I need. And who's to say I can't look for more loot around here? Because some of this is very useful. I can get a few more emeralds along the way. There's plenty of stuff here to steal. But I think I've got enough stuff now. I guess that works for my emerald adventure. One village is all I needed. Now to just make my way home. I'm just going to cast out all of these emeralds that I've got now. And in the meantime, I can make myself a market. And then I can use this guy to get myself a soybean seed. And of course, I'm just going to have to spam growing this for a bit. And that's quite a lot of soybeans. Okay, so with that detour out of the way, I can get back to some of the Pam's things. But just real quick, if I've got some spare emeralds, I can put them on some of my tools for even more durability. But most of these Pam's things shouldn't be too bad. It's mostly just bricks. So pot, skillet, bakeware, and cutting board, all relatively easy. Then with a bit of stone, make that juicer too. So that's all the Pam's things I need to cook this delighted meal. Now I need to get a bunch of stuff from cooking for blockheads. And I think I might need all of them? I'm also going to need a cow and a jar, because that's just an extremely good way of getting milk. But I'm going to need tool racks to hold the Pam stuff. Toaster is just an easy way of getting toast. So that way I don't think I have to worry about butter. Sink provides water, so that should make it a lot easier to get salt, assuming this works. And fridge and counter to store things, oven to cook, and cooking table's the core of it. So what do I need for all of this? I need more stone, and probably more terracotta, but not that much more. And I need this book, Cooking for Blockheads 2. which doesn't seem too bad. But that needs cooking for blockheads 1. I just smelt a book, so I need paper. So I'm gonna go steal some sugarcane. Alright, book in the furnace. Cooking for blockheads 1, then cooking 2, then the cooking table. While I'm here, may as well make the kitchen counter. So then I just need to work through all of this. I need specifically black stained glass. Interesting. I have a spare furnace, and I have a spare glass, and I've got ink sacks. There's an oven. How about the fridge? Need an iron door, and a chest. Then sink. Ooh, sink's not happening for a while. So that's a no. Tool rack, I can do that. Just need some iron nuggets, and there we go. Toaster, need an iron trapdoor, and a lava bucket. And then there's the toaster. And then the last one, the cow in the jar. I need a milk jar, so I need a bucket of milk. And that'll get me the jar. And to put the cow in the jar, I need to get an anvil. And then this is gonna be a bit tricky. I need to move this cow on top of the jar, and then put an anvil on top. Yeah! And I've got cow in a jar. So then I think this is everything that I need to be able to start cooking things. And I think I'm gonna put it up the back here. I don't know how this is gonna work. I think I'm gonna need more kitchen counters. I just need 2 more. Stick them there. Put the toaster and the cow in a jar there. And how much can I put on one tool rack? 2 things. I'm gonna need a couple more tool racks. Actually, does the cutting board can go like that. Okay, this might just work. I'm gonna grab all of this food and just put it in all of the storage. And I can make a lot of things. So then all I should realistically be missing is just a bunch of salt and snow for the smoothie. I know where I can find some snow, but I do have to be cautious of the dragon. So I'm just gonna grab a bit and get out before the dragon attacks me. And this is also a bit of a test to see if it works with the juicer. Yes, I can make an apple smoothie. Good. I'm also just gonna quickly harvest all of this, just to make sure I've got the stuff I need. Oh yeah, and the salt. I'll just grab some water. I can turn it into this water pretty efficiently. And then yeah, I can make a ton of salt. I don't think that's enough to go all the way, but should be able to just make one of each. Can make some fries, some cheese. I don't see a recipe for toast or butter. So the Pam's toast I probably have to do manually, because the toaster only makes the actually additions toast. But the butter I need a mixing bowl to get heavy cream. That's super easy. There. Heavy cream. I need a saucepan. There. That makes butter. Butter makes toast. And now I can make a few things. But where's the hamburger? Oh, I don't actually have any raw meat. 1 second. There it is. Hamburger. Turn it into a cheeseburger. Turn it into a deluxe cheeseburger. And then a delighted meal. Finally! The food of champions. I was kind of hoping that it would work recursively and I could just make all of that in one go, but I guess not. I'm also just going to make all of the component parts so I can eat them. Okay, that's a lot of component parts. But now, I should have a way to make the delighted meal. Although, I did make it using beef. I still need some more things to get tofu. I need a presser. Thankfully, I stole some pistons from the village to be able to make this. Now, does this take power? I don't know. Does it work with cooking for blockheads? Probably not. But it doesn't seem to need power. I just put soybeans in and it just works. So I'm just gonna leave that for a minute. Just do this batch of tofu. Then I can take this and I should be able to make tofurkey? No, first I need cooking oil and that lets me make tofurkey. Right. That should be plenty of food to make a bunch more delighted meals. The main problem now is I'm waiting on milk a lot. And this doesn't store all that much. I might want to get a lot more cows in jars. We'll see. But either way, we've got the farm growing all of the things that I need, that I can then put in all of the cooking machines that I need to make it all the way to the delighted meal. So the last thing that hopefully I can do in this video is get that culinary generator. And for that, I basically just need to get a machine block, which I'm probably going to have to do it with a vacuum tube. Isn't that bad. So I'll start with the vacuum tube. I need a nickel plate, copper wire, and redstone. Gonna need to get some copper and nickel though. Then with a bit of pressing, I can make some vacuum tubes. Then if I make some iron sheet metal and some polished stone, I can make that machine block. And then I need to make a furnace. It's basically just a lot of stone. And I can turn it into a furnace generator, and then into a culinary generator. And annoyingly, I didn't trigger the quests, because I forgot to tick the box. Oh well, it's fine. I have the culinary generator. So then, what do I choose from this? It's between the watermills and the upgrade speed. The watermills might be a bit annoying, because resonators are really annoying to get started. Well, not so bad afterwards. Speed upgrades are just redstone and gold. So I'm going to grab the watermills, because with extra utilities, it can be a little bit annoying to get started, because it has this thing called grid power. So then any generator, I think by default, it's fine, but as you put more speed upgrades in it, it consumes more grid power. And grid power is completely separate from anything like RF or EU or whatever. Grid power is just like a global power specifically for X utilities machines. And the resonator that I needed to make the watermill needs a default amount of grid power to run. So if I get these watermills from a quest reward, I can set these up to generate grid power for me. And to be brief, the stronger the flowing water on the more sides of the watermill, the more grid power it generates. So this setup generates 16 grid power per mill, 32 in total. And I would have made some speed upgrades to demonstrate. I can get... maybe I can't get a resonator yet. I'm not really bothered to do that. But when I put some speed upgrades in the culinary generator, it's going to start requiring grid power. For now it's fine, and it'll just generate RF. So then I can connect this in if I want, but nothing's using the power just yet. Right, so that's the culinary generator running. It's going to be quite a lot further down the line before I can automatically generate food, or rather turn it all the way into the delighted meal to run in the culinary generator. So for now, I'm just going to be doing that manually. But this should be a big power upgrade. I wonder if I can test that. I've got some coal coke. Let's see if the power can handle the improved blast furnace at full tilt. The fact that the number is going up makes me think yes. And there is power in the preheaters. Let me see, if I'm not generating any power, the number is going down. Okay, so it is draining power. Yeah, this is a much needed power increase. The windmills were terrible compared to this. And that's just carrots. Imagine when I get even better food. This might be a power solution for longer than I think. Okay, well, I think I've got a little bit more time left in this video. So you know what? I am going to get this resonator. Because it's not too far out of the way. I do need specifically Chinese glass. It's not hard, but it's just... why? So, to get the resonator, I'm going to need to make some more circuit boards. Oh yeah, by the way, I have put some speed and energy upgrades in here, so it should work a lot quicker now, and not be so painful. But with all of that, I can make some advanced control circuits. Then I also need a block of coal coke, 4 steel plates, a Chinese chiseled glass, and another machine block, and that makes the resonator. And this, I can just put anywhere. It runs entirely off of grid power. So now, if I get myself a bunch more gold, I can start making myself a bunch of upgrades. There we go. Put them all on the resonator for now. I am generating 32 grid power. Not sure why it doesn't let me put another speed upgrade in there. But it seems like 3 is as much as I can put in the culinary generator for now. Does it still work? Yes. And quite a lot faster. The max upgrades is 4. So then if I can try and run 4 upgrades in all of these machines, but I'm going to need some more water mills for that, and I should be able to make 2 of them. Just need some polished stone. You know what, I'm going to go for 6 more. I'm going to need a lot of stone burnt though, and it takes a while to come through. But there we go, 6 more water mills. So then I'm just going to double up everything, kind of like this. There we go. That's now generating 64 GP. Kind of expected more, but oh well. Better than 32. Wait, If I was generating 32 with only 2 watermills, why am I only getting oh, these bottom ones aren't generating anything. Right, because full blocks don't count. So I can't just stack it like that. I can just extend it out this way then. Wait a minute. Why am I getting an efficiency loss now? It's applying to all of them. Oh. Is it because I'm overusing one generator type? Possibly. It's probably there to incentivize other kinds of mills. But it still works to have 8 water mills. And it means that I can run a culinary generator with maximum upgrade speed. So that's basically gonna solve my power problems for now. So then next time, I can start working through the tech again. Because I need to get through IC2 to unlock Industrial Foregoing, to be able to automatically gather the crops. And then I can work through Nuclear Craft to be able to make small smingets. And that will have fully solved my power problems for a long time. It might even suffice until I go all the way down to these highest tier mods. I don't know. But this culinary generator has turned out a lot better than I was expecting it to. Now I need to deal with power transfer, because LV wire connectors is not going to cut it later on, and going to HV isn't much of a solution either. Normally I would use Ender IO conduits, but I don't think that's happening for quite a while. Maybe I can use IC2 cables? Because the HV ones can transfer pretty well, but it does have a loss of power of a distance. I might just have to use mechanism cables. There's not much else. But we'll see. That's something for me to figure out for next time. For now, I think I'm going to call this video here. I'm pretty satisfied with this progress. We've got the farm going with all the foods I need, combined with cooking for blockheads and Pams to make delighted meals. That should solve all of my general food problems. And then combined with a maxed out culinary generator to solve my power problems for however long. I can't really think of anything else to add to this, so I'm going to call the video here. Bye.